Hello, everybody. Welcome to join our live streaming. And first, I want to apologize for the cancellation last time as I wasn't feeling well. And some clients sent me emails and also message on WhatsApp, delivering their care and concern to me. That was really touching. I was deeply moved. And I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for your caring and concern. And thank you so much for your support and understanding. And also, thank you so much for attending this time. Okay, so today's subject is about Spooky2 Scalar. And we know that scalar is a Tesla machine that transmits natural scalar energy to our body. And it's good for boosting our immune system so that our body is better able to fight or rebuild itself. And a scalar field is created by the transmitter box and the receiver box. And 4 parts will be covered in today's presentation. An unboxing demo of Spooky2 Scalar GX Pro Essential Kit. So I'll show you what items you will receive if you order the Scalar GX Pro Essential Kit, and how to set up and tune Spooky2 Scalar. So I'll give you a demonstration of each step of setting up Scalar, and 3 healing methods plus Spooky2 Scalar harmony. And there are 3 ways to apply scalar field, and I will explain one by one. And last but not least, how to do scalar biofeedback scan. So on the website, there are many toolkits regarding scalar, Spooky2 Scalar and Spooky2 Scalar GX Pro Essential Kit. And Scalar GX Pro Essential Kit is the most complete kit. So I'll take this kit as an example to show you today. And this kit includes a setup scalar unit, which includes a transmitter box and a receiver box, and also a GX Pro, which can be connected to the transmitter box to run Rife scalar, and a scalar digitizer, which works with scalar unit and GX Pro to do scalar biofeedback scan, and also a scalar harmony, which introduces an innovative way of reducing music and audio frequencies. There are also some accessories within this kit. The scalar unit comes with a power supply, a 12-volt power supply, and a 4-meter long link cable, which are placed in the receiver box. And this kit also has 3 long BNC cables, which are used to do Rife scalar and scalar biofeedback scan. And also, the GX Pro unit comes with a 12-volt power supply and a USB cable, which connects the GX Pro to our computer to run Rife scalar. Also, there's a multiple input audio cable, which comes with the scalar harmony to connect the harmony to your audio player. So to use scalar, we need to set up and tune it first. You can place Spooky2 Scalar at 2 sides of your desk or in your living room while you're at home during the daytime. You can also place scalar each side of your bed for overnight treatment. So here I'll place the scalar units at 2 sides of my desk to show you. So first, as you can see, the power supply and the 4-meter long link cable are placed in the receiver box. And we will use these 2 cables to connect the Spooky2 Scalar. So first, we connect the 12-volt power supply to the power port on the transmitter box. And the other end goes to a power socket. And then we connect the link cable to the link cable port of transmitters and receivers. So this is the connection for scalar. And while setting up scalar, please keep the link cable between the transmitter box and the receiver box away from any metals. And please do not roll the link cable if it's long. The transmitter and receiver should have their leads facing each other. So here I want to show you the details of the connection. So you may notice that they're not placing correctly, but when you use scalar in your own house, please make sure that the leads face each other, okay? And so then we can turn the switch button to turn on the scalar. And after it's turned on, the frequency display is on, and it starts from 8 megahertz. You may notice that the tuning light, which is beside the transmitter coil, is off. And to tune scalar, we need to turn the tuning adjustment knob anti-clockwise. And the tuning light will be gradually on as we turn the tuning adjustment knob. So I'm not sure if you can see clearly. The tuning light is on now. Okay, I think it's much better. And we need to turn the tuning adjustment knob until the tuning light reaches its first maximum brightness. And here for me, it's around 5.8 megahertz. Okay, and we can check if there's transmission between the transmitter and the receiver box by pressing the LED light on receiver box. So short press it, and if it's on, it means yes, the scalar field is formed. And please note that the receiver light is only for double checking that the scalar field is formed. You don't need, it doesn't have real functionality, so you don't need to tune until the receiver light reaches brightest. And we need to turn the receiver light off while we use scalar. So please always make sure you tune the tuning light, the transmitter tuning light, until its first maximum brightness. And here I want to explain to you, as we tune as we keep tuning the tuning light, you will notice that the light will weaken as we keep tuning the tuning light, and then goes back on to its second brightness. And this is, so let me explain to you. There are basically two peaks while tuning scalar. The first peak is the ideal frequency for scalar energy. And this frequency range is broad, which is normally between 5 to 7 megahertz. And if we continue to turn the tuning light, you will find the tuning light will weaken and then goes back on to its second brightness. This is around 4.4 megahertz. And this second lower frequency is the EMF frequency, which we should not use. So please always make sure you tune the tuning light until its first maximum brightness. And I will give you, so now it's at 5.8 megahertz, and the tuning light is at its first maximum brightness. And if we keep tuning, now the light is dim, and we'll go back on, and then reaches second brightness. So this is the EMF frequency, and we should not use this one. And if we keep tuning, the light will go dim again until finally goes out. Okay, so I will tune it back to the scalar field. Okay, so now I have tuned it back to 5.8 megahertz. And while tuning scalar, here are some notes we should pay attention. After tuning, turn the receiver light on. It will illuminate when a scalar field is present. And the receiver light only needs to be dimly lit. It doesn't need to be at its brightness intensity. And turn the receiver light off when we are using the scalar. It takes energy from the scalar fields. And also use the transmitter tuning light for tuning. The receiver light can be used to confirm that the scalar field has been established. And there are 3 ways to apply this scalar field, which is called pure scalar, molecular scalar, and Rife scalar. Pure scalar is the easiest way of applying scalar healing energy because nothing needs to be done. After scalar is set up and tuned, you can sit or lie between the 2 boxes. The pure scalar energy will then flows between the 2 leads. For example, so as we have just set up and tuned scalar, pure scalar is actually now running at the moment. And I am actually getting the scalar healing energy at this time. And molecular scalar works by placing a substance on the receiver coil, and which can further enhance the signal, the scalar signal. The molecules within the substance will change the signal between the leads, and you will get the curative effects of the chemical. The substance can be essential oils, vitamins, or the drugs you take every day. And for instance, you can place a peppermint coil on the receiver, a peppermint oil on the receiver coil, and you will get the benefits that the essential oil provides. Okay, so I'll show you how to do it. We place the substances on the receiver coil. Several substances can be placed on the receiver coil at the same time. And the small gray circle is the best place to put the substances. If you want to place many substances at the same time, which exceeds the small gray circle, you can place them on a larger box outside, which still works. And glass container is recommended to hold the substances. So now I am actually running the molecular scalar at the moment. If I'm speaking too fast, or if you have any questions, please write down your questions in the QA part, and my assistant will tell me to slow down or answer your questions, okay? Thank you very much. So this is a picture of how to place multiple substances on the receiver coil. And Rife scalar combines the discoveries of Royal Rife and Nikola Tesla. And we can improve the scalar waves through the use of Rife modulation. Scalar can apply this frequency using healing scalar waves. And after scalar is set up, we can connect a Spooky2 generator to the scalar transmitter box and run programs. And then we can sit or lie between the 2 boxes while programs are running. Scalar can accept any frequencies from the massive Spooky2 database. So running Rife scalar requires the use of Spooky2 generator and Spooky2 software. So we need to download and install the software on our computer first. You can download the software from the download page on the website. It's free of charge. Okay, so as I already have the software on my computer, now we can do the hardware setup now. And like we did before, first we need to connect the power supply and the link cable of Spooky2 Scalar. And then we need to connect the generator X Pro to its power supply and our computer. And we connect the 12 power supply to the power port of GX Pro. And then we use the USB cable. one end to the square end of GX Pro and the other end to a USB port on your computer. As we know, GX Pro has two generators in one, G1 and G2. We can use either G1 or G2 to connect to transmitter to run Rife Scalar. Here, I'll take G2 as an example. So we connect G2 out one port to the BNC port of transmitter box with the use of a BNC cable. G2 out one port. And the other end of BNC cable goes to the BNC port of transmitter box. Okay, so now it's all set up. And to run Rife Scalar, so before we run programs in Spooky2 software, we need to turn on Scalar and tune Scalar first. And you may notice that when we run Rife Scalar or do Scalar Biofeedback scan, the receiver light may not be on, no matter how you tune the transmitter coil, because some power are lost in the GX Pro and the Scalar digitizer, causing the link cable more sensitive to the effects of earthing. It is normal. So you just tune the tuning light reaches first maximum brightness. It is fine. Okay, so now the scalar is tuned. And we can turn on GX Pro. Short press the button to turn on GX Pro and the screen will be on. Okay, and it's suggested keeping GX Pro 1 meter away from transmitter box and outside of scalar field. And now we can go to Spooky2 software to run programs we want.
Spooky is already.
After GX Pro is connected to our computer, there will be 2 port numbers under Control tab in the software, as you can see on the screen at the moment. If you connect GX Pro to your computer first before you launch the Spooky2 software, the software should detect the GX Pro automatically. And if you launch the software first, after you connect your GX Pro to your computer, you can do a rescan by clicking Util's rescan devices to detect the GX Pro. And we can check from the GX Pro screen to tell which port number corresponds to which generator. And here for me, G1 is port 6 and G2 is port 5. It could be different on different computers because the port numbers are assigned by the computer. So maybe on your computer, it could be 7, 6, 12, 13. It is normal, no worries. And here, as I connect G2 outbound to the transmitter box, I'll use port 6. And there are 2 ways to select programs to run with Scalar. One is factory preset with SS in the parentheses, and SS stands for Spooky2 Scalar. For example, we can run DH experimental frequencies. DH experimental frequencies include many programs which can help with energy improvement, health maintenance, and also mental conditions. So many of our users reflected success with it. So first I select DH experimental frequencies, double click on it. and then select Scalar. And then choose Spiritual Well-being. So factory preset already includes programs. I can go to Control tab to run it directly. Tick Override Generator. Click on port 6, which is for my G2. And then hit Start. There's a big issue with my software. Let me try again. Let me try to relaunch my Spooky2 software. And when you launch the software, you may notice that it takes some time to load the frequencies and the database. Maybe we can take this time to answer some questions. Okay, I got a question here. Is it okay to use your cell phone in the scalar field? Yes, you can do that. You can use your cell phone, your computer while you're in the scalar field, but please make sure that the link cable is put as far away as possible from the metals or any charging cables, if there's any. Okay, let me try again. I'll select DH experimental frequencies again, and then scalar, and then spiritual well-being. Override port 6, and then start. I got another question here. In molecular, does the cap need to be removed or left for essential oils? Either is okay. You can really remove the cap or keep it on. It's okay. It's not necessary to remove the cap. Oh, if it's plastic, my assistant just reminded me that if it's plastic, please remove it. If it's glass, it's okay. Okay, so now port 6 is running spiritual well-being preset at the moment. So I am now getting the scalar energy as well as the spiritual well-being program running for me. And the other way is to select programs, specific programs from Programs tab. And before doing that, we need to select a shell empty scalar preset first. To do that, we need to choose shell empty presets, and then scalar, and then Spooky2 Scalar General SSJW preset. And then we can run programs we need. Many of our users use Scalar to help improve their sleep quality. So we can input sleep in the search bar. And select programs for sleep. And then follow the same steps to run the programs under Control tab. So now I am running the programs for sleep using Rife Scalar at the moment. So above are the 3 ways to apply scalar field: pure scalar, molecular scalar, and Rife Scalar. And you can combine molecular scalar and Rife Scalar at the same time. For example, you can place the essential oils, vitamins, and drugs on the receiver coil while running programs in the Spooky2 software at the same time. And no matter you run pure scalar or Rife Scalar or molecular scalar, we can also place a glass of water on the receiver coil, on the transmitter coil, sorry. So we can place a glass of water on the transmitter coil. And after the treatment finishes, we can drink this water to enhance the treatment effects. This is called frequency imprinting. easy to do, and effective. Okay, in scalar harmony, like I mentioned before, it introduces an innovative way of receiving audio frequencies. It can transmit soothing tones and meditative beats via Spooky2 Scalar harmony for a more refreshing experience. So to put it simply, you can place instrumental music, solfeggio frequencies, and other audio frequencies via scalar harmony. And to use that, we will need the scalar harmony and the multiple input audio cable. So after scalar is, let me just connect the Rife scalar first. So after scalar is set up and tuned, we can place harmony on the receiver coil. And then use the multiple audio cable input, the multiple input audio cable to connect to the scalar harmony. And it offers different ways to connect to different devices. So here I'll use an iPhone as an example. So now it's set up and I can play a music on the cell phone. We need to slide the switch on the right side of scalar harmony. You may need to check the connection, just like I did. Okay, so you may notice that the sound is a bit lower comparing to listening on your cell phone or computer. It is normal and it is fine. The scalar will transfer the healing audio information to every cell in your body, and a louder volume doesn't mean better results. So you don't need to make it to turn it up. And also you can absolutely turn it off by sliding the switch on the right side of harmony while you use it at night or during sleep. It'll still work and still effective. Okay. So beside applying scalar field via about 3 ways, we can also do scalar biofeedback scan. Scalar biofeedback scan measures tiny changes to the scalar field during the frequency scans. Changes which invoke the frequency which invokes change to the scalar field will be recorded, and these changes indicate subtle scalar reactions within your body. And then you can run the scan result after it finishes to help with your health problems. So to run scalar, so to do scalar biofeedback scan, it requires both 2 generators of GX Pro and also 2 long BNC cables. So just like we did before, first we need to set up Spooky2 Scalar, connect the power supply, and connect the power supply of the to the scalar power pot, and then we will use this scalar digitizer. So first we connect the scalar digitizer to the link cable pot of transmitter box. Okay, and then we connect the link cable to the link cable pot of scalar digitizer, and the other end connects to the link cable pot of receiver. And you may notice there is a little space between the scalar digitizer and the link cable. It is normal. It doesn't mean that it's broken. So this is actually the correct position. Okay, then we use 1 BNC cable to connect G1 out 1 pot to the BNC pot of scalar digitizer. Okay, so again, we use 1 BNC cable to connect G1 out 1 pot to the BNC pot of transmitter box of scalar digitizer. and use the other BNC cable. Connect G2 out 1 port to the BNC port of transmitter. So like this. G1 out 1 port to the BNC port of scalar digitizer. G2 out 1 port to the BNC port of transmitter box. So now it's all set up. And just like we run Rife scalar, we need to turn on scalar and tune scalar first before we run in biofeedback scan in Spooky2 software. And it's the same. Keep GX Pro 1 meter away from transmitter box and outside the scalar field. So now we turn on scalar and tune the tuning light until it reaches first maximum brightness. The receiver light may be off. Okay, so now everything is done and we can go to the software to run biofeedback scan. And before we select presets to do biofeedback scan, we need to take a note of which port number correspond to which generators. Here my G1 will run, here my G1 is port 6, which will do the scan, and G2 is port 5, which will run the scan result. So first we select biofeedback scan, and then scalar digitizer. Choose Spooky2 Scalar digitizer slave GXJW preset, and then go to settings tab. In output control frame, set out 1 equals X. Here X is the port number of G1, so it is 6. And then we go to control tab, override generator. First, we click on port 5. And then we go back to presets tab. Select Spooky2 Scalar digitizer master GXJW preset. And then we go to control tab again, override generator, click on port 6. And then hit the scan button to start biofeedback scan. And we suggest you lie between the scalar unit and get an assistant to help you hit the scan button to start. And if you can't get anybody to help you, you can set the start delay to 2000, which gives you time to start a biofeedback scan and position your body correctly between the scalar units. And by default, the scalar the frequency range is 500 Hertz to 50,000 Hertz. And here I will shorten the frequency range so it would take less time to finish the scan. Then I can show you how to save the scan result and run it. There is a 200 seconds countdown before the scan starts. Oh, it's really fast. It's already started. Okay, so now the scan is doing. And it's better to, while we're doing biofeedback scan, it's better to stay still and have only one person in the scalar field, because scalar the scalar energy extends outward. So ensure no living organism is nearby. And we suggest you to connect G1 out 1 to the BNC port of scalar digitizer and G2 out 1 to the BNC port of transmitter box. And then you can, after you finish the scan, you can disconnect the scalar digitizer and use G2 to run the scan result directly. So here, as you can see, it comes back with a list of frequencies, which is considered scan result. And I can click this save button to save my scan result. And put a name manually. And click the save button again. So now my scan result is saved and can be found under Programs tab. There are two ways to find your scan result. One way is to search by the name you put. So this is the scan result for me. And the other way is to tick only BFB under the database subcollection, and all your previous scan results will show up. And this is the one I just get. And then you can run this scan result just like you run other programs using Rife Scalar. It's important to take a note which port number corresponds to which generator, so you can select the right port number in the software to do the scan. Okay, so above are all the contents of today's presentation. What are the items included? We give the introduction of what items are included in the Scalar GX Pro Essential Kit, how to apply scalar field in 3 ways, namely pure scalar, molecular scalar, and Rife Scalar, how to do frequency imprinting, how to run scalar harmony. So in conclusion, if you want only to get pure scalar and molecular scalar, you can only order scalar unit. It requires no use of computer, no use of Spooky2 generator. So it's very easy to operate, easy to set up. And if you also want to get the scalar harmony to listen to music and to play audio frequencies, you can order the scalar you can order the Spooky2 Scalar with harmony option. But if you want to get all the function of scalar to apply scalar field in all the 3 ways and also do biofeedback scan, you can order the Scalar GX Pro Essential Kit and include scalar harmony if you prefer. We have received a lot of successful stories over the past years. So you can take a look at other users' testimonials at scalarreviews.com. And I'd like to invite you to join Spooky2 Scalar Facebook group and Spooky2 forum, where you can get more feedback and experience and also exchange ideas with other real users. And also the main website, spooky2scalar.com, where you can get more information about scalar and also to place an order. Okay, so thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much for attending this live streaming today. I really appreciate your time and your support. And Happy New Year to everybody. Happy 2023. Bye for now. Thank you.